ever felt completely invisible in a room full of people? You see certain people and they just have this magnetism, this pull that you can't quite figure out. Well, what if I told you that that kind of attraction isn't some mystical gift you're born with? What if it's actually an art form you can learn? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating idea, the 9 types of seducers, and help you figure out which one you might be. Right, this is the big one, isn't it? We all see those people who just seem to effortlessly draw everyone in, and it's so easy to think, well, they were just born with it. But what if that's not even close to the whole story? And this is the myth that holds so many of us back. This idea that charisma is a fixed trait, like your eye color, you either have it or you don't. But the source material we're digging into today says that's just fundamentally wrong. Okay, so let's get into it. And I mean it. Forget everything you think you know about seduction. We are not talking about cheesy pickup lines or weird manipulation tactics. We're talking about a genuine, high-level art form. So here's the key. This is a psychological art. It's all about understanding what makes people tick and engaging their mind first. It's about building fantasies, playing with emotions, and making someone want to get completely lost in the moment with you. It's way deeper than just physical attraction. Now this quote, this is where it gets really interesting. It's all about this idea of freedom. The most seductive people kind of see life as a stage. They actually enjoy the performance of it all. And that playful, unburdened quality, well, that's exactly what pulls us in. Think about it. Most of us don't crave more boring reality. We crave a little bit of fantasy. All right, this is where it gets personal. So the source material lays out 9 totally distinct seductive archetypes. Now, we don't have time to go through all of them today, but we're going to explore 4 really fascinating and completely different paths. And here's the thing. Don't think of these as masks you have to put on. Think of them as parts of your own personality that you can just turn up the volume on. So let's start with an absolute classic, the Siren. Their power is almost purely physical, but probably not in the way you're thinking. It's all about creating this overwhelming, almost larger-than-life presence that you just can't ignore. So the Siren basically operates on your senses. They're designed to completely bypass your logical brain. Think about someone like Marilyn Monroe. It wasn't just that she was beautiful. It was her voice, the way she walked, this incredible vulnerability that made her seem like both an untouchable goddess and a lost child who needed protecting. That combination is just insanely powerful because it hits our most primal instincts. And this quote about Cleopatra just nails it. History says she wasn't some classic beauty, but her voice was an instrument of seduction. It created a feeling, an entire experience that stuck with people long after they forgot the actual words she said. It was all about the how. Okay, now we're going to shift gears completely. We're going from the Siren's overwhelming presence to the intense, laser-like focus of the Rake. While the Siren's power is kind of broad and captures everyone in the room, the Rake's power comes from their unapologetic, all-in devotion to desire in the moment. See, the Rake creates this little bubble where only the present moment exists. They offer an escape from your boring routine, from all the rules, and their secret weapon, they seem like they can't control themselves. They're so overcome with desire that they just abandon themselves to it. And that gives their target permission to do the same. And that is the key to the Rake's power. For that one moment, for that one night, you are literally the only person in their universe. That kind of intense, undivided attention, it's a potent drug. It makes you feel so uniquely wanted and seen. All right, time for another total shift, the dandy. Now this type doesn't seduce you by being the ideal man or woman. They seduce you by creating their own ideal. Their power is all about being intriguing, ambiguous, and a total nonconformist. Dandies are basically social artists. They love to play with gender roles and what society expects of them, and their confidence is their ultimate weapon. They are so unbelievably comfortable in their own unique style that we can't help but be fascinated. They don't follow trends, they become them. This visual is just perfect. Picture it. Rudolph Valentino, the classic dandy, completely flips the script. He's all graceful and delicate, while she's being aggressive. This kind of playful ambiguity totally messes with our assumptions and makes him completely captivating. And for our last archetype today, we have maybe the most subtle and honestly, perhaps the most dangerous of them all, The charmer. They don't overwhelm you with desire like the rake or dazzle you with style like the dandy. Nope, they seduce you with comfort. Charmers are masters of attention, but they turn it all on you, making you feel like the most fascinating person on earth. They're like a mirror. They reflect your moods, they validate your feelings, and they slowly become this incredible source of pleasure and comfort. It's a slow burn, but it can create this deep psychological dependence. Okay, now look at this, because it shows two completely opposite ways to get to the same goal. The rake offers you this thrilling, intense escape that's all about their desire. The charmer offers you a comforting, addictive, safe space that's all about your needs. One is like a bolt of lightning, exciting and fast. The other is like a slow rising tide that you don't even realize is pulling you in until it's too late. So after looking at all these different types, what's the big takeaway? Is the goal to just pick one and become a carbon copy? Absolutely not. And here's the real secret. We all have bits and pieces of these archetypes already inside of us. There's a part of you that's a charmer, a piece that might be a dandy. The real art is just recognizing those qualities and learning how to amplify them, how to play with them, and most importantly, how to have fun with it. So you see, this isn't about changing who you are. It's about having the freedom to express the most compelling parts of yourself. So the real question to ask yourself isn't, how do I become a seducer? It's, which one am I, deep down, already? And what are you going to do with that power?